This area here will likely be a lawn for kids and animals to play on. We're not really sure what's going to end up here or the scale of it, but for right now we're keeping it set up so that people can come out here and walk around on grass. Over here, I cleared this section of the forest tree line. There's a natural spring in the corner over there that comes out of the hillside, and there's a whole bunch of aquatic plants that are struggling to survive through here. So I cut down a bunch of red maples and other tree seedlings, and I left the older ones with the goal to increase airflow through here and also to increase the biodiversity of the understory, which was suppressed by way too many trees. So eventually this will have more aquatic plants, and it'll be visible from the front of Hope House. This whole front yard has been terraformed with what are called Hügelkultur beds. And Hügelkultur beds are excavated below grade and then filled with tree trunks, wood chips, good soil, also the native soil, and whatever else you want to add, compost. In the case of this one, I mainly use tree trunks, river bottom dirt, the native soil, and sawdust that had been aged for 1 year. The area to the left of those mounds has been left completely wild because there was a high degree of biodiversity. But the area to the right of where it's tall, that was all dug up and moved around and planted with plants from Simple Joy Nursery. So all of this is hummingbird, butterfly, and bee-centric host plants, as well as nectar sources for all of these animals. So the goal here is for the water to flow through it, to fill up these Hügelkultur beds, and then not require any maintenance in terms of watering. So I haven't watered this area once, and it's thriving. So the heavily disturbed area here with all the gravel is still really squishy, and we're gonna do a little bit of refinement work in this area. However, we have thrown sunflower seeds and a number of other native species in this area, and we're just gonna see what happens. Over here, we used all 1-gallon plants, and each species of plant here was planted reasonably close to what its max size will be. Many of these plants get 6 to 10 feet tall and wide. But again, the focus here is on hummingbirds, butterflies, and bees. And so, for example, in the foreground here, we have another species of Laetris that's sun-loving. And this species is going to be a major source of nectar for butterflies as well as hummingbirds. Eventually, this area here will be redone to expand the footprint of the creek gravel. And we'll be using permeable fabrics and all of that kind of stuff to suppress the weeds. But we're waiting until we see what pops up out of all of this native dirt. We've had quite a few species, especially way down there near the dogwood tree. We had May-apples pop up in the mounds, and I didn't plant those. So in the process of moving around all this dirt, we've had some new species introduced that were not planned, and that's the goal, is to make it look wild. We're not trying to make gardens here, we're curating natural spaces. Now granted, this is a lot more heavily modulated by us. However, once it is established, we won't have to suppress weeds. The plants will all knit together, and it'll look a lot more wild than it does now.